dealing with, you, Miss Williams, and independent media. And if the mainstream wishes to chime in, then we'll see where we can go from that. Because I don't want to go out and I don't want to go out into the public and be demonized for being a naive, innocent victim of fraud perpetrated by the banks.
What do you think is going to be the next step that the bank or the courts take in your situation?
Well, right now, like I said earlier, I got 3 cases pending in Superior Court, which is state court. I had for over a year in District Court, which is federal court, been dealing with the bank and their attorneys, which they wouldn't allow me to have discovery. And so if you're not allowed to have discovery in a civil proceeding, then they don't have to look at any of the evidence, so they just kick your case out on procedural trickery and technicalities. So they stayed discovery at the beginning of the trial and stayed until the judge finally gave his orders to have it dismissed. So now I have to try to see if I can come up with a way to get it appealed. And in the state of Georgia, with the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, the odds are not in my favor. It's like, I think maybe like 12 to 18% of the cases ever make it through the appeals with a favorable result. But what they'll do is, if you representing yourself, you're not a millionaire or a billionaire, then basically they know that the party is guilty. They won't hear the evidence, look at the evidence, and the banks win by default. So the banks, for lack of a better way of putting it, just screwing people around that in ways that if we did it, we end up in prison for life. So it's very disheartening, very disheartening. But like I say, I'm going to continue, because if nobody ever stands up to what is going on, then we'll all be suffering from these fraudulent practices forever, and we don't have no legacy to leave behind for the generations that's coming behind us. So, it's very, very sad, very, very sad.
What would you like those that are in the earshot and the eyesight of this video, what would you like, or what do you think they can do to join you in making a difference in your situation, but in this whole issue in and of itself?
Well, if there are any good attorneys who are really willing to stand behind me, or community activists, people that have resources that can deal with the courts in a way, or else people who can actually deal in government that can press to have these fraudulent corporate assignments rooted out, and have it to where the people can actually, if they want to have it modified, they can modify it. If they want to challenge the forgery, that they make it to where you don't have to lose your whole life trying to deal with the situation. So people who are willing to get out there, research, are part of organizations that can push people in the public sector that's supposed to be working for us to do the right thing, as for the prosecuting, or even just getting rid of the assignments and letting people have their homes, or instead of kicking them out on the streets. Those will be a good start. But like I said, if you have anything that you're willing to contribute towards me, whether it's intellectual property, lawyer skills, attorney skills, or willing to push issues out into the public sector with our lawmakers and the state Congress, not as much as federal, you can pretty much put that away, and they're not going to do too much about it. But if the state officials are willing to get involved, the city officials, I guess if you can compel them to do so, then that would be a great start toward getting things to where we can start living as decent human beings, and not kicking each other to the curb, and basically you've become disposable citizens in your own land. And that's what I feel like. I serve my country, I work hard, and then what happens, your life is crumbled up like so much piece of paper thrown in the trash, and that's that. So that's no way for any decent human being to have to live.
If you've got any words of encouragement to say to others who may be going through this kind of a situation like you are, or even worse, those who may be homeless as a result of this kind of fraudulent taking away of people's homes, especially during this holiday season, what would you like to say?
Well, what I would like to say is, hang in there. I know it's tough. I know it's a lot of energy being wasted, a lot of time being wasted, a lot of sacrifices. If you have family members, I urge you to don't turn a blind eye, don't close your ears, listen to what your relatives or your friends or family are saying to you about their situation, and do what you can to help them. Sometimes, a person, might need some help with some food. Sometimes they might need to stay with you for a little while until they can get a place where they can afford to live. So if we don't start standing together as a community, then we're going to fall down as a community and a family. Because one of the hardest things it is that when you're going through these issues, people turning their backs on you in your time of need can be a life or death situation when it comes to being out here dealing with these banks and potentially ended up homeless, or if you are homeless. So, but whatever you do, continue to fight, continue to go to different websites, continue to talk to people, continue to get involved with community activism. Don't let the battle that may have been lost initially stop you from pressing forward to win the next battle. So I know what I'm talking about because I'm going through it right now, and it's tough. I don't get a lot of sleep sometimes, but I know that I'm right, and sometimes knowing that you're right and fighting for that is worth the effort. So hopefully it'll pan out for me and many others in the end. And another thing that I would like to say, as far as with our public servants, which they're supposed to be our public servants, is that the district attorney, you have the power in the state of Georgia. You have the power to go and look at these fraudulent assignments. The Superior Court clerk, you have the power to go to the district attorney and say, okay, will you go look through these corporate assignments and see what's all fraud and whatnot, because I don't want to keep serving fraud within my office while I'm in office. And state officials, state reps in the House, in the Senate, also the governor's office, and the mayor's office in the state of Georgia, the city of Atlanta, is that you can get regulations going at a state level. Don't depend on the federal level. It's not going to happen. I don't see it happening no time in the near future. Get some committees started. Get the DA to do his job. Get the clerk to do their job. Allow these records to be taken care of, because ultimately, by no one being able to be in their homes, you're losing all that tax money and stuff that can go to actually helping and securing the communities and getting those services needed. And then you get to keep your job when you do your jobs well with the people. So, but that's something that's very important, to be involved in any level which resonates with you and how you can make a change. So I'm doing what I can. I would love to have some aid, some assistance, but if that doesn't come, then I'll do what I do. I may win, I may lose, but we'll see how it goes.
If anyone wants to reach you, Victor, what's the best way?
The best way to reach me, Victor Love, is on my email. You can reach me at vlove66@hotmail.com. That's V as in Victor. My last name Love, Love,